If you're mentally intact, which most of you will be, and you're physically able to do what you want to do when you were 60, which most of you will be, then living past age 90 is a very desirous process. And that's where we live today in America, if you're actually in reasonable health already. So here are the 5 tips. And I'm going to go back over these again, so you don't have to get them all the first time. First tip, blood pressure. The ideal blood pressure is 115/75. Now, the average blood pressure in America is 130/80. So 130/80/85 is not the same as 115/75. In fact, the optimal blood pressure, that number up there, 115/75, will predict a life expectancy about 10 years longer than if you're hypertensive, high blood pressure. The average blood pressure seems good because it's the average number, but unfortunately the average person in America dies of heart disease, so it's not good enough. I'll come back to why in a minute. Second big tip, exercising 30 minutes daily. You can get that any way you want. I define exercise as breaking a sweat or getting a little breathy as you exercise. It translates into an increased heart rate, which is why I want that, but many of you don't check your heart rate. But that's what exercise means to me. A third tip is a healthy diet that's easy to love, getting back to that concept that you have to adore it. Fourth tip, no cigarettes or toxins. And the fifth tip is to control stress. But how the heck do you do that? Right? Seems impossible. So let's just try one tactic that's been used for eons to deal with stress. Everyone take a deep breath. Really deep. Okay, now a bunch of you did this. All right, well, that's not alleviating stress. So let me show you what a true deep breath looks like. And you'll notice, as I show this animation, that it focuses on the diaphragm, which is a muscle you may not appreciate, but it exists right beneath the lungs and it pulls down on the lungs. And it does this. As you inhale, the diaphragm, which is that pinkish muscle, comes down, your belly goes out. As you exhale, belly goes in, diaphragm goes out. Inhale, bless you. The opposite happens. Watch carefully. Exhale, belly in, diaphragm up. Now, bless you. So, just deep breathing and sneezing together. All right, so I want you all to put your right hand on your belly so you don't bump into each other. Let's do it together. Now remember, with inhalation, where does the belly go? Out, which is the opposite of what most people do instinctively, although as a child you did it the right way. So I'm going to count to 8. 4 seconds in, 4 seconds out. During inhalation, push your hand out. During exhalation, really suck your belly button back towards your spine. Are you ready? Deep breath in. 1. Exaggerated. 2. 3. Push your belly button out. 4. You feel a little aching in the xiphoid area. Now relax the stomach. 5. 6. Now pull that belly button towards the spine. 7. 8. That's a deep breath. If you watch kids sleeping at night, they do it naturally. If you watch athletes, they'll just, without any difficulty, belly breathe. Certainly singers do it. They're taught to do it. And many of us might have forgotten this, but in many mystic religions, in Christianity and Judaism, there are breathing exercises that focus in on this, Buddhism and the like. So it's out there, and we ignored it. Now, it turns out that deep breathing is something else. It sucks and entrains from our sinuses a gas called nitric oxide. And that gas, nitric oxide, there have been Nobel Prizes awarded for it, entrains with the air into your lungs, dilates up the lung beds, and brings you all the life-sustaining oxygen that our body needs. Which is why putting a breathing tube in somebody when we operate on them is actually not too good for them, because they don't get that nitric oxide anymore. But these simple little tactics are hugely important. But the best part of all, besides it being free, is you can sit in a board meeting with someone you don't like, or across the dinner table with someone you absolutely despise, and you go, "It's okay, JB." And then it all flow away. And they're on double secret probation and never knew it. And it's one of the reasons that deep breaths have been used for so many eons and so successfully.